Canada's political landscape is shifting fast. According to the latest Poliwave projections, the Conservatives lead in the popular vote, but the Liberals are still projected to win the most seats. What does this mean for the next federal election? How will the NDP, Bloc Québécois, and Greens impact the final outcome? Let's break it all down. The Conservative Party of Canada, CPC, is leading with 38.4% of the national popular vote, showing strong support, particularly in Western Canada and rural regions. This lead suggests they are the most popular party overall, but the challenge for the Conservatives remains seat distribution. Their votes are often concentrated in safe ridings rather than spread across competitive regions. While a high popular vote is promising, their ability to convert this lead into seats in key battlegrounds like Ontario and Quebec will determine whether they can form the next government. The Liberal Party of Canada, LPC, currently polling at 34.5%, are in second place but still competitive. Historically, they have been more efficient in converting votes into seats, especially in urban centers and swing ridings across Ontario, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces. A difference of only 4 percentage points behind the Conservatives means this race is far from over. With strategic campaigning and voter mobilization, the Liberals could still edge out the Conservatives in key ridings and maintain power, especially if their seat count remains higher than the CPC, despite a lower popular vote. The New Democratic Party, NDP, led by Jagmeet Singh, holds 13.2% of the popular vote. Solid, but not enough to challenge the two dominant parties. The NDP typically struggles with vote efficiency as their support is spread thin across multiple provinces instead of being concentrated in winnable ridings. For the NDP to increase its seat count, it must focus on urban ridings in British Columbia, Ontario, and parts of the prairies, where left-leaning voters may be split between them and the Liberals. If they remain at this level, they might still hold influence in a minority government scenario. At 6.8% nationally, the Bloc Québécois, BQ, may seem like a small player, but their real power lies in Quebec. Their concentrated support gives them a strong chance of securing seats in Quebec ridings, allowing them to be a potential kingmaker if no party secures a majority. Bloc leader Yves-François Blanchet continues to push for Quebec's interests, which resonates with many voters in the province. Even with a low national vote share, they can still hold significant power in Parliament. The Green Party of Canada, GPC, is polling at 4.2%, indicating limited national support. While climate change remains a critical issue, the Greens struggle with visibility and internal party divisions. Their best hopes lie in targeting specific ridings where they have historical support, like British Columbia and Prince Edward Island. However, they remain a minor player in the overall electoral landscape. The People's Party of Canada, PPC, polling at 2%, continues to have a dedicated but small voter base. Their platform, which focuses on personal freedoms, skepticism of government mandates, and economic nationalism, resonates with a certain segment of voters. However, their low national vote share makes it highly unlikely that they will win any seats. Their biggest impact may be in splitting the right-wing vote in close conservative ridings, potentially affecting the CPC's ability to win certain seats. The Conservatives are leading, but their seat conversion efficiency remains a challenge. The Liberals are still within striking distance, and their vote efficiency could keep them in power. The NDP needs stronger regional support to increase its seat count. The Bloc Québécois remains a key player in Quebec, despite its low national percentage. The Greens and PPC continue to struggle with national appeal. The latest federal seat projections are out, and they tell a fascinating story about where this election is heading. While the popular vote shows overall support levels, what truly matters in Canada's electoral system is how those votes translate into seats in the House of Commons. Let's break it down. Leading the race is the Liberal Party of Canada, LPC, projected to secure 157 seats. While this is not enough for a majority government, which requires at least 170 seats, the Liberals remain in a strong position to form a minority government for the third consecutive term. The Liberals maintain their stronghold in key battlegrounds like Ontario, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces. Their ability to retain support in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver is a major factor in keeping them ahead in the seat count. However, they are not invincible. Their seat count is projected to be lower than in 2021, signaling a shift in voter sentiment. To secure power, the Liberals may need to negotiate with smaller parties, particularly the NDP or Bloc Québécois, to pass legislation and stay in office. Hot on their heels, the Conservative Party of Canada, CPC, is projected to win 149 seats. Despite leading in the popular vote with 38.4%, the Conservatives are still behind in total seats. The Conservatives dominate in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and rural British Columbia, where they win seats by large margins. However, in crucial swing ridings of Ontario and Quebec, they struggle to gain ground against the Liberals. To win this election outright, the Conservatives must flip more ridings in the Greater Toronto Area, GTA, and Quebec suburbs. Without a strong breakthrough in these regions, their chances of forming government remain uncertain. The Bloc Québécois, BQ, is projected to secure 26 seats, maintaining a firm presence in Quebec. While their national vote share is only 6.8%, their strength comes from regional concentration. Under leader Yves-François Blanchet, the Bloc continues to appeal to Quebec nationalism, cultural preservation, and autonomy. If the Liberals fall short of a majority, the Bloc could become a key player in a minority government scenario, negotiating for greater powers and funding for Quebec in exchange for their support. The New Democratic Party, NDP, despite polling at 13.2% nationally, is only projected to win 9 seats. This is a significant challenge for leader Jagmeet Singh, whose party's support is spread too thin across multiple provinces instead of being concentrated in winnable ridings. The NDP still holds influence in urban centers like Vancouver and Toronto, where progressive voters support their stance on affordable housing, healthcare, and workers' rights. However, they need stronger ground support in competitive ridings if they hope to increase their seat count. Despite their low seat projection, the NDP could play kingmaker in a minority government by supporting the Liberals in exchange for policy concessions, as they did in the past on issues like dental care and pharmacare. The Green Party of Canada, GPC, is projected to win only 2 seats, reflecting their continued struggles in the national political landscape. While climate change remains an important issue, the party has been unable to capitalize on it electorally, losing ground to larger parties that have incorporated green policies into their platforms. Their best chances for victory remain in ridings with historical green support, such as in British Columbia and Prince Edward Island. However, with internal party struggles and leadership challenges, the Greens face an uphill battle in expanding their presence. The People's Party of Canada, PPC, despite having 2% of the national vote, is not projected to win any seats. The PPC, led by Maxime Bernier, has positioned itself as a right-wing alternative to the Conservatives, focusing on issues like personal freedoms, vaccine skepticism, and anti-globalization policies. However, their support is too dispersed across Canada to win in any specific riding. Their biggest impact might not be in winning seats, but in splitting the right-wing vote in key ridings, potentially helping the Liberals by weakening Conservative candidates. The Liberals are leading, but still short of a majority. They will likely need NDP or Bloc Québécois support to govern effectively. The Conservatives have a strong popular vote lead, but their seat distribution is inefficient. To win, they must break into Liberal-dominated urban centers. The Bloc Québécois remains a power player in Quebec. If no party wins a majority, the Bloc could negotiate for more influence. The NDP's support is wide but shallow. They need to focus on winning key ridings, or they risk remaining a small but influential player in a minority government. The Greens and PPC struggle to gain traction. The Greens might hold on to a couple of ridings, while the PPC is unlikely to win any seats. The numbers are in, but the race is far from over. With shifting voter sentiment and campaign strategies still unfolding, anything can happen. Do you think these trends will hold, or will we see a major political shakeup? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on Canada's federal election. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.